Hey there, Synth Drones. Today we're going to be talking about gear lust. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone, and this is my channel where I vlog about synthesizers. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, keep up with all of my synth adventures. Doing so will notify you when a new video is up. PureAmbientDrone.com is the place to be to connect with me. Gear lust. Who has not suffered from that? Doesn't matter if you're in synthesizers, doesn't matter if you're into guitars, doesn't matter if you're into motorbikes. I mean, come on. When you want something, you can easily start to lust for everything associated with it. And synthesizers happen to be my lust in life. I love synthesizers. Now, I have a friend, and he's a popular YouTuber, but I am not going to say his name here because I have not discussed this video with him yet. But I will talk about some of our conversations on the phone in regards to the subject matter at hand here. Okay, so my buddy, and he is my buddy, my pal, my friend. Yeah, shout out to you. You know who you are. He has come into about $1,200 unexpectedly, thanks to a particular person I will not mention. No, I didn't give him any money, and but I found some money for him that he didn't know was there. And now he's looking at he's calling me constantly. I'm calling him constantly because we love to talk about gear. And we're talking about boutiques that he could buy with this extra money that he wasn't expecting to have. We're talking about a Jupiter that he can't afford, that he could possibly save and buy. Oh my goodness. We have probably mentioned 30 to 40% of every brand of synthesizer and make of synthesizer that's available on the market right now. And he's only got $1,200. I say only, I mean, you can't get it all, right? But, you know, what it is that when we come into extra cash, extra money, when we can afford something, we tend to start thinking in terms of, I could get this, I could get that, I want this, I like that. And our mind starts spending the money way quicker than we actually get the money because he hasn't even got the money yet and he's already spending it. And I think that's part of the allure, the fun, the addiction, the lust is just thinking about it. It's almost like Christmas or birthdays or other celebration days where presents are presented to yourself. It's almost like waiting for the event is funner than the actual unfolding of the event. The journey is better than the actual arrival, if you will. Of course, you have to arrive sooner or later. You have to get what you're planning on buying. And then the cycle begins all over again. So in this case, he wanted a JDXA. And he got his JDXA. But then he wanted a System 8. And he got a System 8. And now he wants something else. The same goes for me. I'm not blaming the guy. I do the same thing. It doesn't mean that I act on it, and it doesn't mean that he's acting on it either. But I think that if you're into synthesizers long enough, or any hobby, or any profession, or any love, you're going to overspend, you're going to overindulge. And gear lust is a very real thing. So let me ask a question, though. Is gear lust necessarily a bad thing? Well, there are some people that I know that they say that they couldn't live. They wouldn't be happily living if they didn't have gear lust, if they didn't have this as a hobby, as a love, as a profession, or whatever it is that they do with synthesizers. If synthesizers weren't a part of their lives, they wouldn't be happy. They wouldn't have a reason to wake up. Now, I can tell you that I went years without synthesizers, okay? And there was something missing for those years. And I didn't really have a reason to even want to get out of bed other than I had to get out of bed. But since I have gotten back into synthesizers many years ago, I find myself excited to get up and start the day, energized, okay, purpose. And that's the important thing, is that whatever it is that you have in your life that gets you out of bed, that gets you excited, that just spins your motor, that is where you should spend your energy. It doesn't mean, though, that you should sacrifice other important things and people in your life to get those things that you lust or love or care for. It means that you have to have a balance. And that's the important thing. And I think that's why I'm kind of like the voice of reason to my friend, whereas I'm telling him, save up for the big things that you want and be patient. And then, of course, he's got the voice inside of his head saying, I want stuff now. And I understand, I completely understand. In his mind, he can take $1,200. And in today's market, $1,200 can buy you a lot of synthesizer, okay? It really can. So in his mind, he could buy several low-budget synthesizers. I hate to use that word, but less expensive synthesizers versus a flagship synthesizer, if you will. And so he's weighing the difference. Should I get a lot of smaller synthesizers at a lower price? Or should I get a flagship that has a bunch of features in it and has a lot of power to it? You see what I'm getting at? And this is a vicious cycle until he gets that money and he actually spends it. His mind is going to continue doing this. And at times he may make up his mind here or there, but until he actually gets it and pulls the trigger on what he wants to buy, he's going to be in what I call synth limbo. So as for me, I go through cycles of synth lust. With me, it's a little bit different. I go from, I want digital synthesizers, I want analog synthesizers. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I want hybrid synthesizers. Maybe I want a mixture of all of them, which would actually make the most sense. Okay, guys, I get it. But sometimes we don't think straight when we're looking in our studio and we only have so much room for so many synthesizers. So I have a lot of synthesizers that aren't even in this room, that are in other rooms. And there's no way I could fit them all in here. And sometimes I want to sell those synthesizers that I'm not using to do what? To buy more synthesizers. So it can become a crazy, crazy cycle. So the comments are here for you to talk about your crazy adventures in synthesizer lust. Let me know what you're gassing for, what you have gassed for, but didn't really make a whole lot of sense and you don't know why you did it. I'll share one with you right now, the JDXI. I have bought that synthesizer more times than any other synth, and it's a great synthesizer. It's a great deal. I mean, you got a sequencer, you got 4 voices, a drum machine, okay, is one of those voices. It's got a lot of great stuff going for it. I just don't need it. And I have purchased it way too many times only to find out that I don't need it. But I like that synthesizer, but I don't need it. It doesn't fit in my studio. And when it comes in each and every time, and it's been here many, many times, I end up not using it. Okay, so that is my guilty pleasure in synthesizer, lust, gas, whatever you want to call it. What's yours? Leave a comment. Hit the subscribe button, tap that bell. Keep up with all of my adventures over at pureambientdrone.com. I love every one of you guys. You guys are awesome. You know that? Until next time, I am Pure Ambient Drone. Keep calm and synth on.